The reunion invitation arrives on a Tuesday. Minwoo finds it wedged between a credit card statement and a flyer for a new chicken restaurant when he checks his mailbox after another 12-hour day at the office. The envelope is cream-colored, expensive-looking, the kind of paper stock that announces its own importance. He carries it upstairs to his apartment, sets his laptop bag down by the door. The thud echoes in the small space, and stands in his narrow kitchen under the fluorescent light, turning the envelope over in his hands. There's an embossed seal on the back, gold foil, his high school's name circling a phoenix. 15 years. The thought sits in his chest like a stone. He slides his thumb under the flap. The paper tears with a crisp whisper. Inside, there's a card with elegant script and a separate sheet listing the details. Hotel Ilua in Busan. Saturday, July 12th. Cocktail reception at 6, dinner at 7. There's a checkbox to indicate whether he'll be bringing a guest. Minwoo stares at that empty checkbox. The refrigerator hums behind him. Outside his window, Seoul's ambient noise filters through. Car horns, voices, the eternal construction that seems to follow him from neighborhood to neighborhood. His reflection in the dark window glass looks back at him. A tall figure in a rumpled dress shirt, tie loosened, glasses slightly crooked on his face. He sets the invitation on the counter, very carefully, as if it might detonate. 15 years since he graduated from Busan Jile High School. 15 years since he last saw most of those people. The envelope's return address lists 3 names on the reunion committee, and his stomach does something complicated when he recognizes the second one. Seo Ji-young. The memory arrives unbidden, vivid as a photograph. The library on a Saturday afternoon, weak winter sunlight slanting through tall windows. Ji-young sitting across from him, dark hair falling forward as she bent over her English textbook. The way she'd look up sometimes and catch him staring. Her small smile, the warmth that would spread through his chest, even though the library was freezing. He'd been so sure, back then, so convinced that the hours they spent together meant something. That the way she laughed at his terrible jokes, the way she saved him a seat, the way she'd shared her convenience store kimbap with him, it all meant something. He'd planned to confess. Had the whole thing worked out. He was going to tell her after the college entrance exams, when the pressure was off, when they could finally breathe. Except he'd choked. The words had turned to sand in his throat. And then they'd gone to different universities, him to Seoul, her staying in Busan, and the distance had done what his cowardice couldn't quite manage. They'd drifted apart, messages growing more sporadic, until they stopped altogether. Minwoo opens his refrigerator. Inside, 1 expired yogurt, half a takeout container of japchae from 3 days ago, and a 6-pack of banana milk. He takes one of the bottles, twists the cap. The plastic crinkles. The sweet, familiar taste does nothing to settle his nerves. He thinks about Ji-young organizing this reunion, about her probably being married by now, about showing up alone while everyone else has their lives figured out, spouses, kids, mortgages, the whole adult package. His mother's voice echoes in his head from their last phone call. Minwoo-ya, your sister's pregnant again. Her 3rd. And you're still, well, I'm sure you're busy with work. The pause before, well, had contained multitudes. He's 32 years old, team leader at a prestigious consulting firm, has a graduate degree from Seoul National University, can build financial models that make directors nod with approval, can present to C-suite executives without breaking a sweat, cannot, apparently, figure out how to go on a date. The banana milk bottle sweats condensation onto his palm. He sets it down, picks up his phone, opens his contacts, scrolls through the names, colleagues, mostly, his sister, his mom, Sung-ho from work, college friends he hasn't actually seen in months. No one he could bring to the reunion, no one he could even imagine asking. The shame of it is familiar by now, worn smooth like a stone in his pocket, always there, always weighing him down. He's learned to joke about it, usually, to laugh it off when coworkers talk about their weekends, their dating disasters, their relationship drama. Married to the job, he'll say, and everyone laughs because it's easier than the truth. The truth being that he doesn't know how, that the years have piled up, university, graduate school, the brutal hours of consulting work, And he somehow arrived at 32 having never learned the basic language of romance. It's not that he hasn't wanted to. It's that the gap between wanting and knowing how to actually do it has grown so wide, he can't see across it anymore. He opens his laptop at the kitchen table. The screen glows blue-white in the dim apartment. He pulls up the reunion website listed on the invitation. It's professional, sleek. There are photos from their high school days, the main gate, the gymnasium, a group shot from their graduation. He scrolls through the list of confirmed attendees. His heart does something arrhythmic when he sees it. Co Ji-young, lawyer, Kim and Partners law firm, Seoul. Seoul. She's in Seoul now. There are little icons next to some names, a ring symbol for married, a briefcase for career information. Ji-young's shows the briefcase. No ring. Min-woo closes his laptop harder than he means to. The sharp crack makes him wince. 6 months. The reunion is 6 months away. 6 months to figure out how to not be the guy everyone pities. The one who hasn't changed, hasn't grown, hasn't lived. He could skip it. That's the obvious answer. He could just send his regrets, blame work, and avoid the whole mortifying experience. But the thought of not going, of taking the coward's way out again, sits even heavier than the stone of shame. 15 years, and he's still the same person who couldn't find the words to tell a girl he liked her. Something needs to change. The realization doesn't arrive like lightning. It's more like a slow dawn, light spreading across his thoughts until he can't ignore it anymore. He can't keep living like this. Can't keep hiding behind work and exhaustion and the comfortable excuse of being busy. Min-woo picks up the invitation again. His finger traces the empty checkbox for +1. He thinks about Ji-young, about walking into that hotel ballroom alone versus walking in with someone, about the difference between those two scenarios, about the stories he could tell himself about who he is, who he's become. The fluorescent light flickers above him, a small electrical hiccup, then steadies. What if he learned? Not overnight. He's not delusional enough to think he could fake his way through this. But 6 months, that's half a year. People learn languages in that time, learn to play instruments, change careers. Surely someone could teach him how to date, how to talk to women without his brain shorting out, how to be the kind of person who could walk into that reunion with confidence instead of dread. The idea takes root, quick and wild. Improbable, but not impossible. He just needs a teacher. Min-woo opens his laptop again, pulls up a new spreadsheet, because of course he does, and starts typing. Column headers, skills to learn, timeline, resources, measurable outcomes. The cursor blinks in the empty cells below, waiting to be filled. Outside, Seoul continues its endless hum. Inside, Min-woo begins planning his education and romance like it's a project proposal. Methodical, logical, completely missing the irony. He doesn't yet know that the best teacher is already sitting 3 desks away from him at work, but he'll figure that out soon enough.